Hi everyone, this is Zohaib. Welcome to my YouTube channel Learning Edge Pro. And in today's part 10 of our video, I'm going to show you the order items in the right side of our orders page whenever the view details button is triggered or the completely grid is triggered. So let's get started. So first of all, we have to make a method in our database service. So let's go into our database service. Okay, so here I'm going to create a method named get orders item async. So for that, I'm just going to make it a public async task order model with an array, and the method name will be get order items async, which will be long with an order ID, which will return await underscore connection dot table order uh, order. It will be order item dot where. Wait a second. Dot where order item will be returning order item dot order ID, which will be equal to order ID, which will then return it to array async. Okay, so now our method is now completed. Uh, Let me check where's there. Okay, so now here I have used the order model. It will be order item. Okay, so now we are good. After this, we are going to make a method in our orders view model. So let's open our orders view model. And inside this, I'm going to just uh, make it hidden. Just below this, I'm going to create an observable property, which will be private order item array underscore order items. Basically, why I'm creating this, because whenever the grid will be clicked, it will show the entire array of an ordered items by detail. Whenever the summary of the bar is clicked or triggered, then the whole menu items detail will be popped up on the right hand side. So that's why I'm creating an array. So we have created a property here, private property. So just below this, I'm going to create a method which will be private async task select order async, which will be order. Okay, inside this, I'm just going to implement some conditions. If order is equals to null or order dot id equals to 0, which means that if no order is selected, then it should show nothing on the right hand side. So for that, I'm creating some conditions that if none of the grid is selected, then order items should be null. So order items will be showing an empty array, then return. So just below this, we will uh, make our is loading indicator as true, then order items is equals to await fetching from database service. Method will be get order items async with an order ID, and after this is loading will be false. So we have created a method in orders view model. Now let's implement into our UI. For that, I'm just going to open my orders page, and inside my orders page, this was the last thing we did. Uh, Here, this is the button. In this button, I'm just going to make a command that whenever the button gets clicked, it will directly trigger the method in orders view model. Let me check if I made that. Okay, let's make the relay command. Yeah, now we're good. Now here I'm going to place some command parameters. Command with a binding source of x relative source ancestor type from view models, order view models, and just outside this view models, I'm going to define a path, which is my select order command. So now we have created this. After this, I'm just going to give it a command parameter, not command with command parameter. which will be binding with dot. So now we are good. Now I just need to copy this same thing. I'm going to paste into my label items count here. Let's make it a label. Then I'm going to make it a label gesture. Label dot gesture recognizers and tab gesture recognizer. And here I'm going to paste this same thing. Okay, so now we are good. Okay, after this, I'm going to alter order models for completely highlighting the selected orders. That means whenever the particular grid is selected, then the whole grid will be highlighted. And for that particular grid, the detailed orders will be showing on the right hand side in our order page. So for that, I'm just going to order my models, order model. Okay, here I'm going to make it a partial class with observable object, observable object. And after this, I'm just going to make it a property, observable property, which will be private bool underscore is selected. Now simply I'm just going to also alter my orders view model. Here I've used the orders. It will be replaced at order model. That will be getting all the data from order models. And inside this, where's the initialization? Okay, here it is. Here I'm just going to make it a change with an order model. So just okay, here var orders. In this variable, I'm going to store the db, not capital db orders dot select region of o, not object, will return new order model. So now we are good. And inside this, I'm just going to create uh, IDs, order date, payment mode, total amount paid, and total items count. So let's rename this also as DB orders, make it a capital. So now we are good. And inside this, I'm just going to create all these things which I have defined: ID, order date, payment mode, why it is not showing by itself, payment mode, total amount paid, total items count. So I think now we are good. Okay, so now make it orders from order to orders. So now we are good. After this, I'm just going to alter my UI things. So let's go into our orders page.xml. And now we just have to alter the right hand side. And inside this grid, I'm just going to implement grid, another grid with a grid.raw 0 with the column definitions of star and auto. And inside this, I'm going to give it a label, which will be the text of selected order items. And outside this, I'm going to give it a column of 0 with a font size of 25, font attributes to be bold, and the text color to be black. Okay, so now the last thing, I think we just need a margin of 10, 0, 0, 0. Now we are good. After this, I'm just going to place an image button on the top right side, because whenever the button will be clicked, so our card will be emptied. My card means that our detailed summary will be empty. So for that, I'm going to create an image button for that, which will be placed inside the grid.column1 with source of x underscore regular underscore 24.png. I have saved the images from flat icons, so you can also download from that. Horizontal position will be at end, vertical to be starting, and with the background color of red, and minimum height request to be 25 or maybe 30. Minimum width request to be 30 as well. Corner radius to be 25. Oh, not 25, it will be 5. And the command from where we'll be getting the instructions to be get emptied will be binding with select order command. So now we are good. After this, I'm just going to give it some shadow, which will be image button dot shadow. And inside the shadow, I'm going to make it a brush of something type red, it will be Indian red. It will look more good. Okay, so now we are good. Outside the grid, we just have to make it a collection view, make a collection view of item source with binding with our items. So for that, I'm just going to open a collection view with an item source, binding with our items. And inside this, I'm going to open a collection view dot items layout. And inside this items layout, I'm going to show you a linear items layout with an orientation of vertical, because we have to show our items vertically, just like the in our main POS application main page with an item spacing of 2. We need each items to be separated with space of 2. And outside this template, I'm going to create a collection view dot item template. Previous one was a layout. Now we are creating an items template. And inside this item template, I'm going to implement data type data template with a data type of data order item. So now we are good. Now I think our order item should be showing perfectly fine. Okay, wait. Let's run the application and check whether it's good or not. So as you can see, our layout is now perfectly fine. Our button is here, selected order items. Then when we will be clicking view items, it will be populating here, all the orders. So let's create that. So let's make it a border with padding 5 with the background color of peach puff, I guess. And inside this, I'm just going to give it a border dot stroke shape here. And inside the stroke shape, I'm going to give it a property of round rectangle, which will be with a corner radius of 30. Uh, it will be good. And let's remove this base. Okay, so now we are good. Outside the border dot stroke shape, I am going to make copy our thing from main page.xml. So here it is. Let's find where we have created that. So here, so from here, I think we have to copy the whole thing. Let me check again. Okay, so from here, sorry. From here, we have to copy the whole thing. Let's copy it from here and paste it inside our orders page here. So now I think we are good. All the borders are here. Let's give some space here. Okay, so now we just need to alter some things here. So first of all, let's remove this because we have already defined it here. And let's close the border tag. Okay, in the grid section, it's completely fine. In the borders, I think it is also completely fine. Image sources is perfectly fine. Uh, vertical stack layout is also fine. Label, label, and things like that. Okay, so first of all, we just need to remove these things, image buttons, because we don't need it anymore. So just remove this. Okay, okay, let's remove all of the things here. So we will create it from starting. Here, first of all, I'm just going to give it a label with a text of binding name, font size to be 18, font attributes to be bold, with a text color to be black. Okay, so after this, I'm just going to create an other grid. Okay, I think here's that closing tag of that grid to create a grid. And inside this grid, I'm going to give it a column definitions of auto and star. And inside this, I'm going to create an horizontal stack layout with a spacing of 3. And inside this, I'm going to create a label of quantity, label of closing the specific tab, and for the price and for the total amount of that particular item. So let's create that label text with the binding quantity, font size to be 18, with a text color to be maroon. Okay, so now we are good. After this, I'm just going to copy this thing and paste it here. Just the binding will be removed. There will be an X with a font size of 18 also and text also maroon. I'm just going to copy it again with a binding of price with string format to be currency. Now we are good. Let me remove this. Okay, so now we are good. Uh, After this, I'm just going to end the horizontal stack layout here. And just below this, I'm going to create another label, which will be our price in the grid dot column 1 with the font attributes as bold. Font size also be to 18. And the text will be binding with amount with a string format of currency. Okay, so now we are good. After this, I'm just going to give it a text color of maroon with the horizontal options to be aligned at center, or not center, it will be end, and the margin will be 0, 0, 5, 0. So now I think we are good. After this, I'm just going to create an empty view, collection view, because whenever none of the item will be selected, so it will show the empty view. So for that, I'm just going to create another collection view for that, which will be named as collection view dot empty. That whenever no item will be selected, it will just be showing that your select in order to view its item, and there will be an image with the no order selected. So let's create that. Here I'm going to create a grid, which will be a minimum height request of 250 with the raw definitions to be star, auto, star. And inside this grid, I'm going to create a vertical stack layout with a grid dot draw 1 spacing of 2. Image source will be getting it from out of stock, I guess, out of stock.png with a height request of 20, not 25, it will be something bigger like 70 or 60. Okay, when the width request will be also be 60 with the horizontal options to be aligned as center. Okay, so now we have created our image and aligned that. After this, there will be a label which will be showing below the image that no order is selected. So for that, I'm going to give it a text of no order selected with the horizontal options center, font size to be 25, and font attributes to be bold, and text color to be dark red. After this, I'm just going to show another label just below that as a subtext that select an order to view its items with a font size of 18, horizontal options as center, and horizontal text alignment also as center. The text color should be black. Okay, so now we have created all our things. Now I think none of the things are left here. Just we have to place a grid trigger, which will be setting at, let me check where should we set that. Okay, here. Okay, here I will be giving it a property of grid dot triggers. Whenever any part of the grid will be triggered, so it will also highlight that particular grid and show the detailed description of items onto the right hand side. So for that, I'm going to give it a property of grid triggers. Inside this property, I'm going to give our data trigger, which will be binding with selected, and target will be grid, value will be true, and the setter will be property. Background color will be changed to, I guess it will be light wheat. Value, let me wait, light. Okay, let's change it to wheat. White smoke. It will also look good. Uh, so we have created this. After this, we just have to alter our order view model. So let's go here, and inside this, I'm just going to change my select order racing model here. Just going to make it model order. Inside this, I'm just going to make another condition which will be for pre-selected orders. That whenever just to show you that whenever the previously selected item is overcome by a new orders, new selected order items, like whenever the user select an order and then he selects another order as well, so the particular previously order will be unselected and given the value of 0, and the newly selected order will be shown as 1. So for that, I'm going to give it a variable previously selected order, and inside this variable, I'm going to make it orders of first or default. Inside this order will return selected. Just below this, I'm going to give it a condition that if previously selected order items is not equals to null, then it will be selected order dot if selected equals to false. And after this, if pre-selected order items dot id is equals to order dot id, that whenever the customer by mistake tap the same order again and again, so it will deselect, select, deselect, deselect. For that, I'm going to make it a condition that order items order items will be as an empty array, and it will return just like this. I have done this here. Okay, so now I think I'm good. Here I'm just going to make it a order dot is selected equals to true. Okay, so to view the data in real time, I'm just going to replace the toast message, which is inside this. Okay, here I'm just going to add a orders dot add order model. So now we are good. Okay, so now let's run the application. Okay, let's quickly go to here, and as you can see, there is no order selected here, but my image is not showing, so I'll check it later. So as soon as I click any of the view items, as you can see, my orders are now populating here. Why it is overlapping? So let me check the UI again. Okay, let's add something like fish, rice, kebab. So let's create with online. As you can see, it is reflected in real time as soon as I click here, view items. As you can see, fish, fried rice, kimchi, and kebab is also showing. So we just need to uh, make it a grid with a whole tab gesture, because it's only working when we are clicking on the view items. As you can see, I am clicking twice or thrice, so it is unselecting and selecting again and again. So if I use the cross button here, okay, so it's overlapped. So let's me fix the UI. Okay, before that, I'm just going to add some label gesture recognizer here, grid dot gesture recognizer, that whenever I tap any of the grid, so it will select that particular order with a command. Okay, let's copy it from here. uh, with the command parameter of binding. Okay, let's remove this. Now we are good. Uh, all the things should work smoothly, perfectly fine. Right, okay, okay. I have put it inside the here, just above the activity indicator. Let's cut and paste here. Okay, so now we are good. Okay, in the next lecture, we are going to implement the main page, manage page layout, from where we will be changing our order item, adding our orders, particular items into a particular category. So, like you can change the icon, you can change the item name, you can change the description, you can change the price, and you can also change the category of a particular item. And if you want to add any new item into your POS application, you can also add that from there. So in tomorrow's lecture, we are going to implement that. So that's it. I hope you like the video. For more upcoming videos, kindly press the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will never miss an update. Comment down below if you have any query. Thanks for watching. Bye.